What's going on, Emergency Sports Talk? We back in the building. Appreciate everybody for checking in. We talking about the Detroit Pistons. Last night they fell to the Golden State Warriors, but I ain't even going to talk about that game because I actually missed it last night. Got busy. What other things, though? But, they're in danger of missing the playoffs, man. It could be an opportunity where they miss the playoffs. They got a tough schedule down the stretch. Let's get it in. Let's talk about it. Make sure that subscribe button, bell icon button. But they got Denver. It was so ironic about it. Before they played Golden State last night, Golden State just got blew out the night before by 34 points. Steph Curry came back. They got together, obviously. Now, Denver got popped last night. I believe they lost last night to, I can't remember who they lost to, but I think they lost last night. And they got blew out, I believe. And now the Pistons are, trying to make a Western Conference road trip 500 when, they could have beat Cleveland, and even if they went 1-3 on this West Coast trip, could have softened the blow. They were still, going into tonight's game or Tuesday's game with Denver, they could still been one game up on the Brooklyn Nets, and the Brooklyn Nets coming on hot. Not only if they coming on hot, the Miami Heat is 7-3 in their last 10. They coming on hot. So, the Pistons, are only 2 games, in the loss column out of the playoff. Up in the playoffs. So if they got a tough schedule. So they go to Denver Tuesday night, come back home, and I believe they play Portland or the Portland, however that falls. Orlando is just they just 2 games in the loss column behind Detroit. Charlotte won big last night. Jeremy Lamb hit an unbelievable 3-point shot to the win. So they still creeping down there right below Orlando to try to make a playoff run. And I believe we played Charlotte, we played Denver, we played Portland, we played Oklahoma City, I believe in Oklahoma City. And then, maybe some other games in there. But we closed it out fairly easy with Memphis, which Valanciunas is playing well over there. It seemed like Toronto made a mistake. Valanciunas is tearing it up, but, it is what it is. So, and then you end up with the Zion Williamson New York Knicks. But it's going to be important, man, that the Pistons do what they got to do. But, if they miss the playoffs, it's going to be because I believe Blake Griffin got tired. That's one of the major reasons, man. Blake Griffin was carrying the whole team. Andre Drummond wasn't doing shit at parts of this season. He was getting no help in the guard with Luke Kennard. He was injured early on, and he had 20 points last night, I see, but he don't be aggressive. Reggie on and off like a light switch, and, Galloway eventually got it together. He just Stanley Johnson and Reggie Bullock. They weren't doing much of nothing through the season. He just wasn't getting the support, and now coming down the stretch, and now you're seeing, even with some rest days in there, his durability seeming better. Dude is tired. And last night was one of those nights where he needed a 40-point game for us to win. And he got 24, but Andre didn't do much last night. He might be tired. He been playing with a ton of intensity, a lot tougher. But it just leads you back to ground zero, what I said before, man. You don't want to be 6th, 7th, 8th seeds in basketball. You want to be 1 through 4, really. That's where you want to be at 5 in our bad spot. Because when you a team like the Pistons, where you got a ton of deficiencies, a ton of holes at the most important position in this league right now, which is wings and ball handlers, they don't have wings and ball handlers. So that was the point of them tanking, even though they proven us wrong by getting the playoffs. And I believe the way the playoffs is falling, if you get in, you might have a chance in the East because the Indiana, they without Victor Oladipo, Boston is a head case. You say something, or Marcus Smart said he better than you, Terry Rozier, you get in their head, they can explode at any given time. And then Philadelphia is still trying to figure their way out as well. And nobody trusts Milwaukee because they always getting bounced. No matter how good they're doing right now, we all know we can just pack the paint on Giannis and stay home on Chris Middleton and, let Eric Bledsoe beat you. You know what I'm saying? But like I said before, the Pistons going to go into next in the offseason with problems and glaring weaknesses, and that's guard play. They're not getting consistency from Reggie. He good one night, he not good. Luke Kennard, he good one night, he ain't good. It ain't like they alternating, like Reggie good one night, Luke bad. Luke bad, good one night, Reggie bad. No, it's a lot of nights where, you're not getting nothing from them. You know, and then he was injured, and Ish is, you know, smaller, so he's a weak link on the defensive end. So, you know, really they gonna have to make it. I'm just saying, like I said before, they gonna have to make a trade. Obviously, Reggie Jackson got an expiring contract that help going into next season, $18-19 million that help. But it's gonna have to boil down between Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond, or you know, the alternative is you be able to scout really well in the draft and hit on a player. That's gonna be the alternative. Or you know, one of you banking on Bruce Brown, Kyrie Thomas to develop, but you ain't banking on that. So if you really kind of take a look at it, your assets are really Luke Kennard, which they refuse to trade him to Memphis for Mike Conley. Luke Kennard, Reggie Jackson. Those are your two assets. If you with an expiring contract with Reggie, maybe you could take Reggie and Luke Kennard. You go out there and you can get something for them. You know, maybe you go out there and you get maybe a disgruntled star, but you know, but really it's gonna boil down. If you really want to get somebody that's good, it's gonna boil down to Drummond. It's gonna boil down to Blake Griffin. Which one you want to get rid of? Because the cap space is too iffy. To build a team, you gotta have depth. And when you're paying 70%, almost 80% of your cap space to Drummond, Blake Griffin, and Jackson, it's hard to move. And you got these lackluster draft picks, you know, it's hard to move. So it's gonna be interesting to see, but I still believe they're gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? But Andre Drummond just going to be phenomenal every night. That's gonna have to be the guy that really captivate this team and put this team on his shoulder. It's gonna be him, because Blake Griffin ain't got too much gas in the tank right now. He wore out, and rightfully so, man. Blake almost 30, and he carried the team for the first half of the season. Andre carried us to the All-Star break. Like shit, Reggie Jackson getting to about $20 million a year too. Ain't it time for him to carry us, not just down the stretch and every few games? It's time for him to win a game. Real talk. It's time for Luke Kennard, who he took over Devon Mitchell, to win a game. You know, it's time for some of these dudes to step up and do it. You know. But it's a good chance that these dudes can miss the playoffs just due to you know, Blake Griffin fatigue and just not having enough support outside of Andre Drummond consistently. You know, and it's amazing that if the Pistons make the playoffs, even in the East, it's amazing they make the playoffs with lackluster guard play and wing play. It's amazing because Reggie Jackson ain't starting on too many teams. Luke Kennard ain't starting on no teams. Ish ain't starting on no teams. Langston Galloway ain't starting for nobody. A lot of teams he probably wouldn't even make. You know what I'm saying? But he playing better. So, you know, Glenn Robinson, he ain't bringing nothing to the table. I don't know why he ain't been getting more burners. He injured. You know, Zaza, he all right, but not enough depth. And no guard play. No wing play other than Blake Griffin, which really ain't his natural position. So he can't just, you know, do a two-man game with him and Drummond, because he naturally ain't a distributor of the basketball. You know, and when Drummond at his best, is usually a guard that can really make him look good, penetrate, draw the defense, and drop it off to Dre. You know, they need to really focus on getting Dre in the top of the key, clearing out, pick and roll, you know, letting Reggie penetrate, or really Ish do it better. But, you know, and then dishing it to Dre and setting Dre up for some easy buckets. But yeah, it's going to really be Andre or nothing, man, at this point, man, because Blake Griffin ain't got no juice, man, night in, night out. He'll be able to give you something here and there, but it's really going to be based off Andre Drummond if they make the playoffs or not, and the support he get from Luke, Reggie, Ish, and some other guys out there. But, you know, it's going to be real interesting for, you know, down the stretch for the Pistons, man. I believe they're going to make it, though. You know, Orlando, this is as bad as our guard play is. Their guard play is equally as bad with Augustine starting at point guard. He went back up. Miami hot. We could fall to 8. I can see that. I ain't worried about Charlotte, man. We got to beat Charlotte coming up, though, for real, though. We got Orlando and Charlotte coming up. I think both of those games can really seal some shit for us. But hey, it's Marcy Sports Talk. Let me know what you guys think about the Pistons' playoff hopes. I believe they're going to make it. I believe Drake going to step up and Blake give us a few good games there down the stretch. But it's Marcy Sports Talk. Don't forget you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out to email if you need be. Appreciate it. One time for the one time. It's your boy CJ Goodfield. Let me know what you guys think about the playoff push. We go.